April 21st, 2013, Slovenia. A fresh breeze on my face lifted me from my sleep. I looked out of my hammock to see a touch of dawn on the horizon. I felt refreshed, my spirit was light. I'd fallen asleep feeling alone, but woke up embracing my isolation. I recognized that in trying to go as far as I can, I've made my destination so personal that I must arrive alone. A companion would either help me along or hold me back, and I want neither. Being alone also gives me total control and full responsibility, allowing for a purity in my pursuit. Each choice I make to keep myself safe and moving forward is made in a vacuum of opinions. If the decisions are all my own, then so too will be the results. In the late morning, I visited the village of Polnova simply because of the interesting shape of the town on my map. I arrived to find a small community existing within the walls of a fort in the shape of a 9-pointed star. As a military fortress, the logic was that each point of the star could defend the adjacent points. Construction began in the 1590s and represented the idyllic thinking of the time. The town was meant to be both an impenetrable military stronghold and a self-sustaining utopia. Aspirations have been tempered in the intervening 400 years. Now, the sleepy town has a few wandering tourists, but little else. Throughout the day, I passed a dozen small villages, each separated by a few miles of farmland. I was between fields of wheat when I realized that each town I went through had a clock tower, either attached to the church or standing independently. They are always the tallest structure in town and could be seen from miles away. Pulling to the side of the road, I looked around at the surrounding expanse of farm fields and counted 5 clocks poking up over the horizon. I imagine the farmers here are never late for dinner. I got on a smooth road with a wide shoulder heading towards Slovenia. I was enjoying the pleasant day and was lost in my thoughts when I failed to notice a police car pull up behind me. I jumped in my seat when the siren went off. The sound was different from the French sirens, which were not the same as those in Spain or Portugal. Even the emergency vehicles have accents. I pulled over and the police car stopped just in front of me. 2 men in uniform got out and told me I wasn't allowed to bike on the highway. I didn't realize that's what I was doing. They weren't too upset though, and had me follow them a couple of miles to a gate where they let me onto a side road. Soon after, I crossed the border into Slovenia. Prior to arriving in Slovenia, I was only vaguely aware of the country's existence. What I've seen so far is rural, with large rolling hills and fertile valleys. I'm sleeping near the town of Ajdovščina, which sits nestled against a forested mountain, 2,000 feet tall, with sheer rock poking through at the top. This is a pretty place, and I'm not the first to think so. The town's history dates back 4,000 years. I got a kebab when I arrived, and watched the gray clouds darken while I ate. Rain began falling as I left the restaurant, and with few options, I took shelter in an empty parking garage at the edge of town. I thought I would be spending the night there, but the rain subsided just before dark, and in the fading light, I raced into the nearest farm field to find a patch of wet grass where I could lay down for the night. I feel well hidden now that darkness has arrived. Above me, thick clouds have blackened the sky.